Okay, so we're revisiting the Hyundai compressor because somebody asked, how do you do an oil change and release the water out of the tank? So first of all, you make sure your power's off, unplug the compressor and check, or obviously if you've got some, release the pressure in the compressor so your dials are at 0. And then you want to get a container to catch the oil. There won't be loads, but you can release the 90mm bolt, which will drain the oil out. Here's your level, so it should all come out, no problems. Release the dipstick to help it come out quicker, to get the flow going. I don't know how fast it'll be. And this is a twisty dipstick. I don't know if you can actually dip it. Let's have a look while we're here. No, it's just a plug. It's just the oil filler cap. Try not to cross thread that. Because that is it's an awkward place to have it. Fair play. I'll play with that. And then you're going to have to put that bolt back in the bottom and fill it back up with oil to that red mark. I don't know how many times you're supposed to do it, you know, between changes. But, you know, it'll be up to you and how much use you use. I don't use mine every day or even every week. So, you know, I'll leave that up to you. And I'm sure it says it in the manual. Now, I was first letting the water out of the tank because I haven't got an air trap, a water trap, sorry. I haven't got a water trap. But that is underneath the tank. You can just see it, the little gold thing. And that unscrews. Obviously make sure you've got no pressure in the tank. Let's see if I can get a torch. And you can undo that by hand. There's nothing to it. Bit of wood out the way. Yeah, just by hand. Just undo that. If you have got a little bit of air in, it'll just spray the bit of water out. I emptied mine out after I used it for a lot of time. There was no water in it, to be fair. But it is good practice to empty it after usage, because obviously the rust could build up inside the tank if you left a puddle of water in there for a long period of time. Okay. Now, as for any air filters or any add-ons you might have on your compressor or on your line, you'll have to you'd have to have a look at that, as how to change your filters or whatever else. But to be honest, the tools I'm using, I squirt a bit of oil in the tools and I don't do anything else. If I did a piece of painting or something like that with one of the spray guns, yes, I'd get a water filter. But I know it's good practice to have them for all the tools, but I do put oil in, so I'm not that worried. I mean, a lot of my tools are second hand, and you know, they might be branded, but they've had a life. They're not precious. Like, yeah. So in summary, you undo the 90mm socket, you remove the dipstick, let the oil fill out into a container. If you need to use a funnel or something, I think it's probably just put a cup under there, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be that much, or an old margarine pot or something. Then put the bolt back in, and then use a funnel, because that is an awkward place. Use a funnel to fill up. You probably want a smaller one than this as well. Fill up, and then watch the level. Don't let it go above the red. I mean, what they put in is just below the red, which is probably enough, because it's probably only like a splash system. It's not, you know, I don't think it's anything crazy in there. There's no pumps or anything, other than, yeah, I don't think you need to worry about anything like that. You just need to make sure there's some in there. Don't put too much, otherwise you'll have to drain it back out the plug. I'm not sure what oil it uses, but I can't imagine it's anything fancy, just some compressor oil. Also, I mean, while you are doing the service, I would imagine you would want to change the air filter. Now, this one is a square one. I think that's the entire thing there. I'm not sure, but there might be an insert. Maybe we'll have a little look. Maybe I'll take it off in a minute. But they've got two Allen bolts. I think they're Allens. And I'll find out what they are, and I'll take it off and see what it's like. It might have an internal cartridge. It's impossible to tell. It does look like it might. There's like a two-piece thing there. We'll have a look. All right, so it's a H6. It's Allen key. Let's get the screwdriver. These aren't tight. I mean, obviously they're going into like an aluminum head, or whatever you want to call that. I'm sure you can probably get these on eBay, otherwise direct from Hyundai, I would imagine. And I am right. So that is a little foam filter. To be honest, you could probably wash that out with soap and water. Give it a good dry, and slap it back on. It's only foam, isn't it? But I'm sure you can get a replacement if you want to get a replacement. But whatever you do, don't do these up tight, because you'll strip out the thread. Just like that bolt on the oil for draining the oil. You don't want to do that up tight. Hand tight, not even that. Do them up evenly as well, but yeah, it's silly. So that's that as well. I wouldn't do much else than that. I do the air filter, the oil, and what else did I say? The belt will have to be changed, but I mean, why would you change it until it looked like it was fraying, or maybe if it fell off or something, or obviously snap. If it snaps, then obviously change it. What else? I don't think there's anything else really. Draining the water out of the tank. And I'm going to be honest, that is the one that I focused on mainly with the little compressor. Nothing else stopped, killed the compressor or anything. But if you leave that water build up in there, you can have a right nightmare. You only have to look on YouTube to see what happens to them tanks when they go. They blow up. So it's well worth emptying the water. That is the biggest thing that I was told to look out, to do. Drain it after you've used it. If you're using it daily, you're going to be probably draining it every day or every couple of days. Because if you are using it that much, you're going to be getting quite a bit of water, I would have thought. I probably used mine, I don't know, 10 to 20 hours. I'm not using it flat out all the time. And when it builds up, that air lasts a long time compared to the little compressor. So if there are any more questions, do ask. I will endeavour to find out, as obviously I have this time. I mean, I knew how to take the oil out of this thing. I mean, and the water, I've done it on the other little compressor. The little compressor did have a lot more water in it when after you'd have a usage, but this doesn't seem to have. But I mean, it all depends on what time of year it is as well, doesn't it? How much moisture's in the air, how much it's dragging in, as to how much you're going to have in the bottom of the tank. But yeah, I think if you using it a lot, you're going to have to change. You are going to have to change the oil. But I'm not that kind of user. Well, not at the moment, anyway. I mean, anything's possible in the future, I suppose.